Hello friends, welcome to yoga. I have just a mat set up here. I do have a blanket, but that's really for my dog to lay on so he doesn't get on my own mat. So if you have that same struggle with animals, put something out for them. They really love to join when you get on the floor. So all you need today is a mat though, and just yourself, and we're going to start in a seated position. So let's come on down to the ground. And I want you just to sit in a comfortable position that is good for you. So maybe crossing the legs, possibly you can do like the easy pose we've talked about before with one foot in front of the other. If you need to lean up against the wall, that works as well. So whatever is the best situation for you. We're gonna spend a few minutes here in the beginning. So let's take the hands out onto the knees and sitting nice and tall. You should be able to kind of feel your sit bones back there. As you get into your position and you lean back just a little bit so that we're not putting a lot of pressure on the ankles. And if you're comfortable with closing the eyes, then we'll go ahead and close the eyes here and start to listen to the breath. So as you breathe in through the nose, we're going to take a nice long deep breath in, or really just recognizing how you're breathing today. So if you're not breathing deep, then let's start to work into a deep breath. So as you breathe in through the nose, we'll squeeze through the belly and exhale through the nose also. Let's try to slow that exhale down just a little bit. We're controlling our air in, controlling it out nice and long. One more time like that, and then we're just going to go back to a regular pattern of breathing. And now as you sit here and just let your breath come and go, I want you to turn your focus inward. And I usually read something after our practice or at the end during our pranayama. And today I'm going to change it up just a little bit because I want us to set an intention from the beginning that has to kind of do with what this practice is about. Today is going to be about grounding. So this is the time of day where we tend to be the most active, get a lot of work done, whether you're staying at home or whether you're in an office or at a job. This is just a good time of day to get a lot of work done. So we tend to be kind of flighty and erratic with our thoughts. So I'm going to read this quote. It says, "To find peace, you have to be willing to lose your connection with the people, places, and things that create all of the noise." And so I want us to ponder that for a minute, losing connection with all of the noise. And that's really what this practice is about, just grounding your thoughts, grounding your body to the earth. We are of the earth, we're here together as one, even though we're not in the same room. We have energy fields, and hopefully energy is passing through this video as you watch. And as you listen, and your energy passing back to me. And that energy is so important for our daily lives. And when we connect with the craziness and the madness and all of that noise, it makes us crazy and mad and flighty and erratic. So let's ground ourselves. Let's take a breath in through the nose, a cooling breath in. And we're going to open the mouth and let all the hot air out. So cool breath in, hot breath out. Let's do that again. Cool breath in. My dog's doing it too. Out breath. Let's tilt the chin down toward the chest, keeping the spine tall, focusing in on your intention for today. Maybe you can let go of noise today. Maybe you can ground yourself and sense energy from other people that bring you back here and don't cause you to go crazy with thoughts and actions. Letting go of connections with activities that might cause you stress. Let's just think through that for a moment. activity that causes you stress. We're bringing the heart rate down. We're bringing our intentions inward. Losing connections with people in your life that cause a lot of noise. You don't have to name those people. You might want to. Whatever's healthiest for you. But we're just like almost like you're just taking a pair of imaginary scissors and cutting ties in your mind. And then in your own self, things that cause you to be stressed, anxiety-ridden, erratic, maybe even on edge. Let's just take those imaginary scissors and cut ties with those things right now. All right, we're going to do another little breath practice. So if you have to change your position up a little bit, that's fine. But we're going to practice breathing that requires holding the breath for a moment. And I know we haven't done a lot of this in this class, so just take time to kind of learn and understand what I'm saying and work on it as I talk. I'll keep talking so that you can kind of keep working through it. But what we're going to do is take 3 sips of air. So you're sipping through your nose. And once you get as much air, your lungs are expanded as wide as they can, we're gonna hold for 4 counts. So just 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're gonna let that air out in 3 sips out. So, and then we're holding for 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 steps in. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 sips out. Hold for 4. And now we're going to change that to 3 sips of air in. Hold for 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let it out. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 sips in. Hold for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let it out. Hold for 6, 4, 5, 6. Good. Let's do that 2 more times. We're counting up. So 3 sips in. Hold for 7. 6, 7, let it out. Hold for 7. Last one, 3 sips in. And let it out. Hold for 7. Take a nice relaxing breath in. Let it out. Let's use our arms. Sweep it up. Bring it through heart center, and then we're going to start a little twist here. So just a tiny little twist through the body. Inhale up. Exhale, reach around. Inhale up, reach to the other direction. Inhale up, and we're going straight down and into the middle. So just walk the hands out. Fold over. If that feels good and you want to stay there for a moment. Come back up and let's do it again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. Inhale up and twist. Inhale up and to the middle. Walk it out. And then back up. Very nice. All right, moving on to a few more little grounding things here. We're staying low to the ground. We won't be on our hands and knees this whole time, but if you do need a little extra padding for your knees, feel free to roll your mat, just fold it and stick it on your knees, or get your blanket, so a little extra padding. But we're coming onto all fours here. And as we get onto all fours, we have hands directly underneath the shoulders and knees directly under the hips. And we're just going to elongate the spine and push through the arms. So as you push through, I want you to get your middle finger and thumb, pushing especially hard into the mat. And then you're gonna take that little knuckle right here, the little second knuckle, kind of the pad of the fingers, and push that into the floor. So what's not touching is like a pocket of air right in the middle of your hand. And we're just gonna practice that hand posture, pushing into the ground with all the fingers, but especially thumb and middle finger. And then we're straightening out the arms, and if you have that kind of what some people call double jointed, you can rotate those elbow creases forward or at least facing one another. And then we're just keeping the tailbone long. Let's push down through the tops of the feet, and as you do that, the knees come up off the ground. So we're holding here, and we're breathing what we call breath of fire. It's very quick, so just go. You're taking a quick breath in, quick breath out. So out. And then release. So that exhale is what you can hear. The inhale is passive. All right, let's take a couple of circles here just to give ourselves a little bit of a break. Get the joints loosened up. Just pick a direction, go in that direction. We're gonna do the breath of fire again. It's just little squeezes through the abdomen to get the air out. And then we take a quick breath in. A lot of breath work today. Hopefully that's helping you guys feel a little more grounded. One more time in that direction. Come back to center, get ready. We're gonna push down through the tops of the feet and the hands. Ready? Let's go, and breath of fire. Knees to the floor. Let's take a couple of big circles. And the other direction. All right, coming right back up onto that tabletop position, we're going to work into some flow breath. So this is our prana breath, which is just taking a nice deep breath in, let the belly sag. So you're inhaling here. And then as you arch, you're exhaling and squeezing all those core muscles. So inhale to cow, exhale to cat. Now this breath you may not be able to hear. You might, but that's not necessary. On these other ones that we've been doing, you can hear the breath. But on this one, it's just a nice flowing breath. It's continuous, relaxing. And if you feel like getting a little bit deeper into your cat and cow, just squeeze a little harder on that arch. Squeeze those back muscles a little more on your sag. Let's go one more time through each. And once you've finished one of each, we're going to take the toes together, sit back as far as you can onto the heels into our child's pose. Stretching those arms out in front of you. So let's reach as far out as you can, keeping the elbows lifted up off the ground and the forehead down on the ground. So if you can't quite sit back on your heels, you're still going to do that. You just have your hips up in the air maybe, forehead on the ground, elbows off the ground. And we're working to kind of tiptoe ourselves back onto the heels. That's what we're working toward. All right, coming back up onto all fours. We're going to do a little balancing practice here. So that's a great way to get grounded. So we're grounding ourselves onto the ground with some stabilizing limbs, and then we have some others that we're going to lift that require us to balance. So you have options. We'll tiptoe the right hand or left, it doesn't matter, just pick a hand. Tiptoe it out. We're taking opposite foot and extending it back. Let's keep it on the ground for a moment, just so you can kind of see what that feels like. We'll take a big deep breath while we're on our way out there. On our exhale, we're coming back to center. Let's try the other side. So just keep everything on the ground, tiptoe opposite arm and leg out. Exhale, come back to center. Now if you want to try lifting just one, you can lift the arm. If you want to lift both, you can lift the leg, but we're extending as far out away from the body as possible. Exhale, bring it back to center. Let's do that again, reach it out. back together. We're gonna add on this time, so let's take it out. We're gonna bring elbow to knee, take it back out, and together. Other side, all the way out, elbow to knee, squeeze the belly, extending back out, and together. One more time on each side. Very nice. Coming back to center, we'll go back into that child's pose, resting position. Elbows off the ground. Couple of rounds of deep breath here. All right, and our first downward dog. So from here, remember what I told you about the hand, the little pocket in the middle of the hand. We have middle finger and thumb pressing into the mat, so go ahead and do that. Then press those other little knuckles into the floor. You have that pocket of air in the center of your hand. So that's our hand position for downward dog as well. We're gonna dig the toes underneath and then lift into our downward dog. Now we might wanna paddle these heels at first just to get that stretch through the backs of the legs. You might feel it in the glutes, the hamstrings, the calves, wherever you're tight. Grounding through the hands and grounding through the feet. So we've got toes digging into the floor, fingers digging into the floor, hips lifted nice and high, chest sinking toward the thighs. Let's sink into the heels. Straighten out the knees. Take a big deep breath here. And we're gonna lift the right leg and then bend the knee so that your heel comes back toward your opposite glute. You're opening up just a little through the hips here, maybe a lot, depending on how far back you go. Now we're gonna bring that knee to the chest and step it all the way through. So we find ourselves in a nice low lunge here. Rolling up onto the fingertips so we can feel the earth beneath the feet. That foot up front is your nice strong foundation. The foot in back, you've got that heel shoved back to the wall behind you, so you're nice and long through that back leg. And then up on the fingertips here is going to require our core to engage. So let's engage that core. And if you want to bring the hands up to the knee here, you can. You can stay on the ground, or you can put the knee down in the back and come up with hands on the knee. So either way, whatever posture you're choosing today and how you're challenging yourself, let's get into that posture. And then once you feel good and balanced here, we're going to take the arms out into goalpost or cactus arms. So open the chest, open the heart, draw the chest up and out. So we're opening up our heart space here. Opening ourselves up to new possibilities, opening ourselves up to the calm and the peace that we talked about already. Take a big deep breath. Now we're going to plant that back heel. So we're coming into our warrior two position. Let's just swim those arms. So let's take a big circle, swim the arms out, looking out over that front hand, staying low. We're going to take a little flow here. So we'll turn the front hand over, reach out as far as we can, then tip up. Grounding through the back leg. So from that back hip all the way to the outer knife edge of the foot, going out toward the floor, grounding yourself there. Staying low in the front. And then we're going to swim the arms back out to our warrior two. Stay low. Reach out. Lift up, reverse warrior. Take a big deep breath in. Exhale, swim the arms out. Reach. Inhale up. Exhale, swim. Reach. Up. One more. Exhale, swim. Reach. Up. Now we're straightening that front leg. Give yourself a little bit of a break in that front leg. Reverse triangle. And then we're going to keep that hip jutted back. So jut your hip back. Take that back arm out to the back there. And then we're just tipping it forward into our triangle posture. So Resting the knuckles on the inside of the calf. The other arm goes straight up in a nice cross with the arms. Big deep breath in. Great. Now from here, we're just coming back to the front, up on the toe in the back into that lunge we started in. Then you can plant the hands, lift, and sweep back into our downward dog. Hang out here for a second, big deep breath. And same thing on our left side. So we're taking the left leg into the air, open the hip by dropping that heel back. Big deep breath in. Knee to chest. Step it all the way through. Keep that nice low lunge. So we've got our foot planted up in the front, toes spread out for a good foundation. Heel in the back is shoved back to the wall. Nice straight leg here. Push up if you have that balance, or put your knee down if you need to. Hands on the knee as you just kind of walk it up. That's just kind of a stair step. And then once you're ready, we're taking those arms out, fingers out wide, open chest, open yourself up. Heart is spread. Let all the good things come in. So we're just welcoming in love and peace, joy. It's a good life. Let's breathe that in. Very nice. Dropping that back heel as we turn into our warrior two. So splay those arms out. We're reaching equally to the front and the back here. So create some tension a little bit there. Digging down through the knife edge of that back foot, staying low in the front. So we want our pelvic floor muscles engaged. So let's kind of lift up through the pelvic floor, lift up and keep ourselves braced here as we reach out. And we'll begin our flow. So as we inhale, we turn the hand over like you're receiving something. Reach out and up. Swim that arm back out, turn it over and up. Swim the arm out. Do we have it yet? A little pattern. You can create your own. If you don't like mine, that's fine with me. Reach out, turn it over, and up. One more. Swim the arms out, turn it over, reach up. Let's straighten that leg. Keep the hip jutted back so we're in our reverse triangle here. And then keeping that hip out, we just kind of shift the hips back. Our arms splay open, and we're just tipping it forward. So you now should feel that stretch on the inner thigh that we just did so much great work on. If you want to change your gaze, challenge your balance, ground your feet into the ground. Keep the shoulder open. So even if you have to kind of do that yourself, do your hip, like push on it a little bit. Self-adjustments, open it up. If you're not ready for that challenge of balance today, looking down at the ground is fine. Feeling that nice deep stretch. And then we're going to turn back to the front, up on the toe in the back, into our lunge, lift and sweep, downward dog. Couple rounds of breath here. And looking forward, right in between the hands, we're going to walk the feet right in between those hands, or to the front of your mat. I'm not going to go quite that far forward. But as you get into this forward fold, we're just going to hang out here. So let's take the crown of the head down toward the ground. So you want to relax, let your head dangle there, let your arms dangle, and just notice where you're touching the ground. What is your support? That's an easy answer. It's your feet. So our feet are our support here. We're going to let the feet support us as we hang over in forward fold. Let the spine just give in and relax. Each vertebrae spreading to create space. Coming out of this, we're going to inhale and halfway lift. So just straighten out the knees, bring the fingertips up to about your knees. So we have a nice flat back. Take a breath in. Exhale, round back over, and then we're just getting ready for this swan dive or reverse swan dive. So we do kind of that lifting halfway, except the knees are bent, arms come out like an airplane, And you're pushing through the feet and standing all the way up. Big breath in. And through heart center. Take it all the way into our mountain pose. Let's rock back onto the heels, up onto the toes, feeling the ground beneath your feet. I think many, many times we go throughout our day and don't realize what it feels like just to put your foot on the ground. We don't even think about that. Why would we? It's just so natural. It's like breathing. You don't think about it, but sometimes it's really good to think about how are your feet touching the ground? How do your feet feel? They're going to carry you around for the rest of your life. So we want to take care of our feet. And at the end, we're going to do a little foot massage, so that'll be good for your feet too. But just recognize how your feet feel. Do you feel imbalanced at all? Do you have one foot taking on more weight than the other? Are you leaning forward or leaning backward, most of your weight in your heels? Just notice those things. No need to correct them, we're just noticing. We're going to work on a little standing balance here. So we've done this one before, tree pose. It can be as hard as you want it to be. So the easiest thing to do if you have balance issues is to hold on to something. I have a dresser right here. I could just easily reach out and touch, or a wall that I could lean up against. If you're wanting a challenge today, then we'll just try freestanding. And all we're going to do is kind of rock back and spread out all the toes. We're getting ready. I'm going to do left side first. That's my better side, so I'm going to do left side first. You can pick whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. But all we're going to do is turn that knee out to the side and kind of put our foot up against our ankle. And this may be all you do for today for a freestanding balance, is just barely, just kind of keeping that toe near the ground so you can always slide it there and have that extra support. You could take it up to the calf if you'd like and hold there. You can come all the way up to the thigh if you want to, just not over the knee joint because we don't want to push on that joint. And that's important. Get that connection wherever you are today in your balance practice. I want you pushing your foot into your thigh and your thigh into your foot like you've just glued them together, okay? Now that's going to require some lifting through our core, right? So we're not afraid to use other muscles. But let's take the hands out, and if you need them for balance, you can hold them out and open. If you'd like to challenge yourself a little more, the more you float up and keep those hands up overhead, that's a challenge. You can look out, change your gaze. My favorite thing to do lately is to leave my hands out and close my eyes and see how long I can balance. So that is very, very difficult to do, but I challenge you to try it, maybe when I'm not talking so much. But if this is your first time to do tree, just gradually get into your posture. We're going to hold for 4 breaths. So get where you want to be, where you can try to hold for 4 straight breaths. If you can't hold for 4 breaths, back off to an easier position and try again, 4 breaths, okay? And these are long, deep breaths. Nice long exhales. Nothing that would require you to get imbalanced. We just don't want to hold our breath. And when you finish that 4th and final breath, we will slide the foot down, bring the arms down, take one big, deep, sweeping up breath, and through heart center. Switching to the other side, spread those toes out. Get your good foundation. Feel every single little toe on the ground, as well as your heel, the outside edge of your foot. If you have an arch, you might feel it on the ground or lifted. Just notice, imagine what your footprint would look like if you had ink on the bottom of your foot. Imagine that on your mat. That's your foundation. Now from here, we're going to turn the knee out to the side. That's important. We don't want it forward. We want it sideways. This is balance challenge. And then draw that foot up wherever is comfortable for you. Glue it to the inside of your thigh. Push against each other. Create some tension. And then find your balance posture with your arms. Challenge yourself a little more if you like, or if you need to back off, remember our 4 breaths. Once you finish those 4 breaths, you feel confident in what you've accomplished, we will slide that foot back down. Coming back into our mountain pose. Sweep the arms up, big breath in. Through heart center. Let's do that one more time, it feels good. Inhale. Back to heart center. Very nice. All right, finishing in our seated posture, guys, back to where we started. Maybe you try a different foot in front or a different posture. If you like to crisscross the ankles or easy pose, that's up to you. We're going to take the hands out onto the knees with the palms facing up. Shoulders are back and down. Closing our eyes if you're comfortable with that. And just thinking back through what we've just done today. Binding ourselves together as a human race, whether it is through yoga practice, whether it's through just smiling at somebody. It costs you nothing to smile and say hello. It costs me nothing to just look at somebody in the face and say hi. So as we go through our days today and tomorrow and the rest of this week, guys, I want to encourage you to ground yourself to other people that help you feel grounded. Cut ties with those people and those activities that cause chaos, that make you second guess and feel guilty and shameful. We get to choose who we connect ourselves to. Most of all, take care of yourself. Love yourself. You are worth taking care of. You are worth loving. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Thank you for joining me today. Let's take a big deep breath in. Reach it up. Hands to heart center. Namaste.